RVBN, the Rich Video Blog Network, home to top 10 list of everything and anything, weekly NFL predictions, personality profiles, great sports video blogs, and more. You turned into the RVBN Network, Billerica, Massachusetts. Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Saturday, October 8th, 2016, around 6:50 in the morning in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's going to be a nice and sunny day out today. Highs in the mid-60s. Tonight and tomorrow morning, some rain showers associated with a cold front. But this cold front is going to steer the direction of Matthew out to sea and doing a back loop to the Bahamas and Florida again, but as like a tropical storm. If that cold front didn't come through, Matthew would come up the coast and clobber us with a lot of heavy-duty rain and wind. Some news to report on the RVBN Newswire. Clemson beat Boston College football team by a score of 56-10. They crushed them. They murdered them. BC has not won an ACC conference game since 2014, and the way they are playing, they might not win one for another 2 years. The Chicago Cubs beat the San Francisco Giants by a score of 1-0 in Game 1 of the National League Division Series. Great pitchers duel between John Lester and Johnny Cueto. The Cubs are up 1-0. The Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Washington Nationals by score 4-3 in Game 1 of the NLDS. Dodgers up 1-0. Game 2 of both series continues today. The UMass Lowell Riverhawks hockey team tied with University of Minnesota Duluth by a score 4-4 in the season opener for both of those teams. The WWE is going to produce a Diamond Dallas Page DVD in March of 2017. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. You love me, you hate me, you never forget me, and feel the pain. And it's Happy National Children's Day in Iran. I bet the Iron Sheik is happy about that day. Dr. Kaki, you pepperoni. My Iron Sheik impersonation. And that's about it on the news from the RVBN Newswire. We'll be back. I'll be back in a flash. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Pudding guy. Molly Roseblood of WCCO Oxen has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart is so stunning. She's the best. Amy Sweezy is awesome. Amy. Linda Church of WPIX Channel 11 New York, such a rocking cougar. And she's got nice legs. And Bobby Gibbs of ABC 11 has a sweet southern accent, the best legs in Raleigh, North Carolina. And all those 6 ladies are my favorite blondes in the world. I'm back. Did you miss me? My first video blog subject today is about former professional wrestler Terry Taylor on my personality profile. Terry Taylor had an over 20-year in-ring career in the world of sports entertainment. He's known for being a Red Rooster in WWE. He still works in professional wrestling as a backstage agent for NXT. Terry was born in Greenville, South Carolina, growing up a big fan of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. He became a professional wrestler in 1979, starting in Championship Wrestling from Florida. He was billed from Vero Beach, Florida. He was tag team partners with Stan Lane. They were originally going to be the Fabulous Ones, but Terry left for Mid-South Wrestling, and Stan Lane got Steve Kern as his partner, and they became the Fabulous Ones. And for the next 8 years, Terry Taylor's main wrestling territory was Mid-South Wrestling / UWF. When he was a rookie, he teamed with Bobby Fulton, and they were going to be the Fantastics, but Terry got a mid-card singles push, so they gave Tommy Rogers to Bobby Fulton and became the Fantastics. Terry Taylor won the 1980 Rookie of the Year for PWI, and he also had, from time to time, he wrestled at Georgia Championship Wrestling. He actually became the NWA Junior Heavyweight champion for a time. Then he had a couple of appearances at WWE at Madison Square Garden. He wrestled a couple of times for Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling in the early 80s on television, but his main wrestling territory was Mid-South Wrestling, UWF. He won the Mid-South Tag Team Championships a few times with a few different partners in the Mid-South Television Championship. He got a decent push. He feuded with Ted DiBiase, Dr. Steve Williams, Dick Murdoch, and he got several matches with Nature Boy Ric Flair for the NWA World Title. One time, they wrestled at Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana, and drew an awesome crowd. And for most of 1985, Terry actually left Mid-South Wrestling to go to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, and he got a decent push there. He was Mid-Atlantic National Heavyweight Champion, but he didn't like the direction of his push going. He knew he was not going to be the top face there because Dusty Rhodes was the booker, and he put himself as the number one face, and Magnum TA was the number two face. And a couple of times during one time a meeting, Dusty Rhodes told all the wrestlers, if you're unhappy here, go out and leave, and just Terry Taylor decided to leave. He had to drop the National Heavyweight Championship to Buddy Landel in Starrcade 1985. Then Terry went back to Mid-South Wrestling, which at that time was being rebranded as UWF. Terry continued to get a good babyface push. He was the number 2 babyface in Mid-South Wrestling during this time period, and he teamed with Gentleman Chris Adams. They formed the Dream Team, and he won the UWF tag team titles a couple of times, but there was a lot of dissension between Chris Adams and Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor was acting more cocky. Eventually, they lost the UWF tag team titles, and then they had to wrestle each other in a scientific match. When Chris Adams goes outside the ring, Terry Taylor tries to help him out, but he beats him up, and Terry Taylor turns heel, and he joins Eddie Gilbert with Rick Steiner to be part of the first family Hot Stuff International. Terry Taylor became a decent heel. He won the UWF Television Championship, and this was about the time UWF was being bought by Jim Crockett Promotions. And Dusty Rhodes was still the booker in Jim Crockett Promotions, and Terry Taylor knew he was not going to have a future in Jim Crockett Promotions as long as Dusty Rhodes was the booker. So Terry Taylor jobbed to Nikita Koloff to unify the UWF and NWA Television Championships at Starrcade 87, and then Terry Taylor leaves Jim Crockett Promotions to go to World Class Championship Wrestling. He wrestles there for approximately a half year. He won the Texas Heavyweight Championship and had a great feud with Chris Adams. Also, from time to time, Terry would wrestle in Memphis. This was around the time World Class Championship Wrestling and the CWA had a working agreement, which eventually led to Jerry Jarrett buying World Class out and rebranding the whole thing USWA. And there was a rumor going around in summer of 1988 that Terry Taylor was going to join the AWA, but the AWA was dying. And also at that time, Terry was signed by the WWE, the worldwide leader in sports entertainment. Terry made his debut in the summer of 1988 1988 as a face called Scary Terry Taylor, but that didn't last long. In a tag team match on Primetime Wrestling, Terry Taylor and Sam Houston teamed up together to face a preliminary tag team, a jobber tag team, the Conquistadors, mass wrestlers. Built from Mexico, they were Jose Luis Rivera and Jose Estrada. The Conquistadors beat Terry Taylor and Sam Houston. That was probably the Conquistadors' only television win I can remember. Afterwards, Terry Taylor berates Sam Houston and turns on him, and the commentary of Bobby the Brain Heenan on this match was superb. Soon that Bobby the Brain Heenan became Terry Taylor's manager, and he changed his name to the Red Rooster. But the pairing of the Red Rooster and Bobby the Brain Heenan did not click. And after a match on Saturday night's main event in January 1989, when Tito Santana beat the Red Rooster, Tito Santana never won big-time matches on television at this time against top opponents. This was when he was, basically being the jobber to the stars. The Red Rooster had it. He beats up Bobby the Brain Heenan and turns face. And then soon, Terry Taylor the Red Rooster has a red mohawk of a rooster, and he do cock-a-doodle-doo. And the Red Rooster merchandise was selling decently, and the Red Rooster feuded with the Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi, a preliminary wrestler. He won that feud. Also, the Red Rooster beat Bobby the Brain Heenan in 32 seconds of WrestleMania 5 in an awful match. And the Red Rooster got a decent amount of television time. He won all his matches on television, but at house shows and pay-per-views, he put over the mid-card heels. There was a rumor going around, urban legend, when Terry first signed with the WWE, he was going to be given the Mr. Perfect gimmick. But that gimmick went to Kurt Hennig, who perfected it pretty good. I think Terry Taylor would have made a great Mr. Perfect because he was decent. He was a mid-level heel in UWF, and I think if he got the Mr. Perfect gimmick, Terry could have been probably one of the top heels in the late 80s, early 90s. Eventually, Terry Taylor got sick and tired of the Red Rooster gimmick. He left the WWE. He said the Rooster was dead and buried. In the summer of 1990, he went to WCW as Terry Taylor. He was a face again. He got a decent-sized push into the winter of 1991 when Dusty Rhodes came back as Booker for World Championship Wrestling after his run in the polka dots, and he changed Terry Taylor's gimmick. He turned him heel again, and this time he was the computerized man of the 1990s, Terrence Taylor. His long blonde hair was slicked up in a ponytail. He was managed by Alexander York, who's Terry Runnels, and he was like the main person in the York Foundation with Richard Morton, who was Ricky Morton, Thomas Rich, who was Tommy Wildfire Rich. The three of them became WCW World Six-Man Tag Team Champions for 2 months in late 1991, but that belt was forgotten, dropped, and in the winter of 1992, the Terrence Taylor became the Taylor-Made Man, kind of a rip-off of Ted DiBiase's character. I think Dusty Rhodes was continuing to bury Terry Taylor because they still had heat back from 1985, and in the summer of 1992, when Bill Watts came to WCW, he did not renew Terry Taylor's contract, saying that Terry Taylor's character was stale and needed an overhaul. And Dusty was burying Terry Taylor. He didn't need a gimmick overhaul. In the fall of 1992, Terry returned to the WWE as Terrific Terry Taylor, a heel. He won his matches on television, but he was put over the faces as a jobber to the stars on house shows, and he actually worked as a commentator, hosted Wrestling Spotlight, and did some backstage interviews for Coliseum Home Video, and did some backstage stuff for the WWE. He did that for about a year until he went back to WCW in the fall of 1993. He did some commentating, and he wrestled as a face again, but he put over the heel wrestlers. But Terry was starting to work more backstage in WCW on the creative team, and then he would once in a while be on television breaking up fights as the Suits. And around this time period, Terry Taylor worked for the WCW power plant, training a lot of wrestlers. He did that for about 4 or 5 years. In the winter of 1999, Terry Taylor went back to the WWE to be part of the creative team and an agent and producer. Once in a while, he worked as commentating on Shotgun Saturday Night. He actually did play-by-play of a Lawless War in March of 1999 when Jim Ross kicked Michael Cole below the belt. And Jim Ross was mad because the Red Rooster's going to replace JR on commentating. Terry Taylor did that, worked for the WWE for approximately 9 months in 1999. Then he went back to WCW as a role as an agent and a producer. He did that until WCW was bought by WWE in March of 2001, and then Terry Taylor went to work for TNA. For several years, he worked as like a vice president of talent relations, and sometimes he worked on the creative team. In 2012, Terry returned to the WWE, working with NXT and stuff like that, and appearing on a few WWE DVDs. Terry Taylor's in-ring career was decent, and he could have been one of the top heels in the world of professional wrestling in the late 80s, early 1990s, but a lot of gimmicks kind of stalled his career. The Red Rooster gimmick probably killed Terry Taylor's credibility of being a top-level performer and being the Taylor-made man, and Terrence Taylor were, kind of stuff that was going to bury Terry Taylor because he and Dusty Rhodes had heat for a long time, which was too bad. That's about it on Terry Taylor. Be back in a few minutes with my second video blog of the day, which will be about NHL predictions for 2016-2017. And third and final video blog of the night will be about the top 100 greatest, most popular blondes of all time, from 100 to 91 on the first one. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Budding guy. Molly Roseblood, the BCCO, Roxanne has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart's so stunning. She's the best. Amy Squeezy's awesome Amy. Linda Church of WPIX Channel 11 in New York. Church of Rocking Cougar. She's got the nicest legs in New York City. And Bob Gibbs of ABC 11 has sweet southern accent. And in the words of Sean Lucha, get out. See you later. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. Bye.